United Nations General Assembly became the stage for another Donald Trump spectacle. In a speech that stretched for nearly an hour, the US president fired one insult after another at Europe. But while the continent was humiliated, Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz was not in New York. He remained in Berlin, tied up in domestic budget debates, leaving Germany absent and voiceless in the international chamber where Europe's future was being shredded.
When your prisons are filled with so-called asylum seekers who repaid kindness, and that's what they did, they repaid kindness with crime, it's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. See, I can tell you, I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell.
The absence was immediately seized upon inside the Bundestag. Green MP Britta Hasselmann took the floor with fury, accusing Merz of abandoning his duty at the very moment Germany needed to stand tall. She reminded Parliament that Europe, Israel, Ukraine, and the Middle East were all under discussion in New York, and that the German Chancellor should have been there, confronting Trump's attacks, not sitting at home with budget papers.
A strong voice from the German head of government would be important there. I wonder why you have made the decision not to be there. This question you must answer. Is it perhaps because Donald Trump praised you in your absence and you do not want to contradict him? This contradiction is necessary, ladies and gentlemen.
In the Bundestag chamber, the accusation landed like a direct strike. Germany's head of government is accused not of oversight but of cowardice, a leader unwilling to take the stage when his country's honor was on the line. The criticism did not stop there. Opposition lawmakers broadened their fire to Merz's entire policy agenda, accusing him of handing out German money abroad while families at home struggle. At a time when Germany faces economic strain, soaring debt, and energy uncertainty, the accusation was clear. Merz is betraying German taxpayers, squandering their contributions to foreign agendas while their own livelihoods are under pressure.
And the crowning point. We are giving away millions of our tax money for dubious projects abroad. 5 million for waste removal in the Gaza Strip, almost €500,000 for Bedouin employment programs in the Sinai, and €438,000 for a roadmap to reduce CO2 emissions of humanitarian organizations. Sounds great, but what is that? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the destruction of tax money with the seal of the federal government. And even more brazenly, these reports are often classified as confidential.
The fiercest blow, however, came from AfD lawmaker Stefan Keuter. He accused the government of deliberate silence over the Nord Stream sabotage. With shocking bluntness, he declared there was much to suggest Ukraine was behind the attack, yet Berlin acted as if nothing had happened.
Let me start with Kiev. There is much to suggest that Ukrainians blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. But you, our government, are acting as if nothing happened. You summoned the Chinese ambassador to the Foreign Office as soon as the smog levels in Beijing exceed an EU limit. You have summoned the Ukrainian ambassador on the matter once.
He mocked the government's double standards, quick to summon ambassadors over minor environmental issues, but unwilling to hold Kyiv accountable for the greatest attack on German infrastructure in the country's history.
No. What would be if the USA were affected and the pipeline were American? The Americans would have taken the Ukrainian president from Kyiv with the Navy SEALs and brought him to Guantanamo for interrogation. What would have happened then, I simply leave to your imagination. What happens in Germany? Colleagues Miersch and Spahn travel together to Kiev and pour out a great cornucopia of German taxpayers' money. Colleague Klingbeil was also there. Sanctions against Kiev? Not at all.
Germany's chancellor was missing from the world stage. Opposition parties accused him of cowardice, of wasting German money abroad, of hiding the truth about Nord Stream, and of leaving the defense of Europe's dignity to others. Instead of standing as a leader, Merz is now portrayed as a spectator, absent, weak, and humiliated. For Germany, the verdict is harsh. At a moment when Europe needed strength, it got silence, and at the center of that silence stands Friedrich Merz,